Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Charlene and today I am going to take on a project that I have been putting off for many months. In the summer I had done down some pear jelly and it did not set. So I'll just show you how that looks. See how that totally didn't set. So I have 12 jars here that I have to re-can. I am going to use the powdered pectin. So there's different ways you can do it. You can do it with liquid pectin or powder pectin. And I just read this morning there's a way to do it with no pectin at all, but I didn't delve into that because I'm going to do mine with the powder. So for the powder, you're going to need a quarter cup of sugar, a half a cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of bottled lemon juice, as well as 4 teaspoons of the powder pectin. So I have already washed my jars over there. The first thing I'm going to do is turn my oven on to 200, and I'm going to put the jars in there to keep them hot so that when these are coming out boiling hot, they're going to go into boiling hot jars to help create that seal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, you only do it by 1 quart at a time. So I'll be doing, this will be 1 quart, this will be 1 quart, 4 of the smaller ones. So I'm going to have to do this process 4 different times today. So let's go over to the stove and get started. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the stove, start at medium. We are going to add the half a cup of water, so a quarter cup of sugar, two tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. Oops. And 4 teaspoons of the powdered pectin. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we are just going to stir this and we are going to let it come to a boil on medium-high heat. That's going to take a couple minutes to warm up. So while that's doing that, I am going to open the jars of jelly. Okay, so while that's still trying to boil, I'm going to fill this up with water in preparation for the the jars to be done, and we want the water to be just as hot, so you need to start this at the same time. And I'm also going to put a little vinegar in it so that the jars don't get water marks on them. You just need about a teaspoon. Okay, this is at a boil, so now we can start to add in the jelly. You're going to want to stir this pretty much constantly from now on. So now we're going to want to bring this to a rolling boil. And I think that's the step that, whoops, I made a mess there. I think that's the step that, where I made a mistake, because you have to make sure that when you're stirring it, a rolling boil is when you're stirring it and you can't stir out the bubbles. And I think that that's likely where I made my mistake. So I'm going to sit here and stir this, and I will show you back when we get to that point. Okay, guys, we are at a hard rolling boil. See how we're stirring it and these bubbles are not going down. And it says when you get to this point, stir constantly. Obviously, we'll have a big mess for 30 seconds. So I definitely did that, and I made a big mess. But that's the hard boil that you want. Now we're going to, if there's any foam on top, which there is pretty much no foam, then we are just going to put this into our hot jars. So now I'm going to move this right off the stove. I'm going to try to work quickly here. I'm going to move this pot. I've had it on high, but this is not as strong of a burner as that side. So I'm going to move that over there. So turn that on hot. Now the water will be boiling already, but this side will come to the rolling boil we need. Now I need my jar here. We're going to just pull out one at a time. These are hot, so I'll probably grab something to hold on to it. One more stir. You're going to want to fill it till it is 1/4 inch headspace at the top. Okay, so now we're going to wipe the rim. I think I'm going to wet that a little. The rim was still a little sticky. Okay. Okay, I cannot find my magnetic lifter there, so I will have to use my hands there. And you're gonna put them on hand tight. And then we're going to stick them one by one in to the canner. Okay, and then on to the next one. Okay, so I have done 8 of the jars. The water's not quite at a boil. I am going to put that in for 10 minutes. Okay, so this is the water time. For pints or half pints, if your altitude is at 0 to 1,000 feet, you do it for 5 minutes. If it's from 1,001 feet to 6,000 feet, you do it for 10 minutes. And if you're above 6,000 feet, you do it for 15 minutes. So I'm kind of right around the 1,000 mark. So I think I'm going to do it for 10 minutes just to be sure. Okay, so the first batch of water bathing is done. It boiled for its 10 minutes. I took the lid off and it's been sitting in there for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them on a towel on my countertop. So now that is all done. I still have another 2 batches to do. So I'm going to get on working on that and I'm going to let them sit for 12 to 24 hours. So I will come back in the morning and I will let you know if they have gelled up properly. Okay, so just a few pointers I forgot to mention. When you are going to pour your jams into your jars, I always get like a cookie sheet or a pizza tin and put it down because you're gonna make a mess. And it's easier to take that and put it in the sink than it is to continuously come back and wash up your mess. And then the other one was use a larger pan. It has been like 6 months since I did it, so I totally forgot about that step, but I used a medium pan today and that's why it had boiled over a bit, and then it dawned on me I was supposed to use the extra large pan. It looks like it's way too much, but when it starts to bubble up, at least you're not going to have your stove to scrub down. I'm going to have fun doing that today. Everything's burnt in there, so I think those were the only 2 things. Those were the only 2 things that I could think of, but I just wanted to mention to you guys to hopefully save you a step to, oh no, there was one more. When you're wiping your rims, do a really good job because these were sticky. So I had wiped them down and then I just thought to go around with my finger a second time and I could still feel stickiness. That stickiness on the rim could prevent them from sealing. So you want to, and if you do touch them with your finger, re-wipe it anyways, even if it does come out clean. But yeah, just make sure you do not just the top, but the sides as well, just a little bit. So yeah, those were the 3 tips I thought I would point out. Okay, good morning, everybody. So I have bad news, it did not set. I have a couple that very lightly set, but it's still very, very liquidy. This one here set a little bit, but it's still not good enough. Most of them are still just pure liquid still. So that one did not work for me. I don't know if it's because this is jelly and not jam. I'm not sure, but either way, I had to look really hard to find other ways to do it. So I'm going to try one more thing, and I'm hoping that this one works, but I'm not going to give up because that's a lot to waste. But I do think, I don't know if I mentioned this, so this is about 3 days later, by the way. I wasn't in a huge hurry to get it done. Anyway, so I'm going to use my 16 quart pan. I'm going to dump all of these back in here. I'm going to wash all of the jars, put them in the oven to heat up again before I even start doing this. And then what I'm going to do is for every half pint, you will put in 1 tablespoon of powdered Certo. And then I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 of the pint size ones, so I'm going to do 2 for each of those. So that means I'm going to need 16 tablespoons for what I have, which I have them already. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get this stuff all ready, and then I will bring you back after. Okay, so everything's washed, clean. I have the oven back on at 200. I have all the jars in there to keep hot, so when I'm done with the hot liquid, it goes into hot jars, so there's no chance of breakage. And I have my water canner here, well, pressure canner, but I'm going to use it as a water bath. It's been on for a little while, so the water is going to be really hot. So now I'm just turning the jelly on, and I'm going to add just the 16 tablespoons into here. I'm going to stir it up, bring it to a boil, a rolling boil. And once it hits that, we're going to boil it again for 1 minute, and then we're just going to go straight into the jars. So I already showed you all of that process. So that's all going to be the same. So then I'm just going to keep that up, and I will let you know if this one turns out. Let's hope. Okay, also just a heads up, when I put the Certo in and you stir it around, it leaves those chunks all the way through. So for the last few minutes, I've been trying to get all of the little chunks out. So make sure that you don't turn your heat too high at the beginning, just to medium while you get all of the chunks out. I wonder if there's a way to do that before you put it in. I have to do research on that one. Okay, just thought I'd let you know. Okay, I checked these and it's a go. It actually, it worked. Turn them sideways. I don't even think you can see the top on those ones. But anyways, it worked. It made them solid. I think there's, oh, that one's all good too. I don't know if you can see the top. Let me take this off just so you can actually see. I see the tiniest of liquid right here, but other than that, it worked. I'm so happy. Okay, I hope that helped everybody. And I'm so happy that I can use these as jellies and I don't have to find another purpose for them. So hope that helps you out as well. Okay, we'll see you on the next video, guys. Bye. Take care.